Lagoon treatment. What is lagoons? So lagoons are pond-like bodies of water or basins designed to receive, hold, and treat wastewater for a predetermined period of time. So if necessary, they are lined with materials such as clay or an artificial liner to prevent leaks to the groundwater below. So lagoons are separated from larger bodies of water by sandbars, barrier reefs, coral reefs, or other natural barriers.
In this video, we will learn how lagoons are formed. The simple definition of a lagoon is when a shallow body of water is separated from a larger body of water, like a sea or an ocean. That is what is called a lagoon. Now, the key point to remember is that this shallow body of water should be nearer to a sea or an ocean, because the water of a lagoon has to come from a sea or an ocean. Otherwise, a simple lake can also be called as a lagoon. And if a lake is nearer to a sea or ocean, and somehow that lake gets water from the nearby sea or an ocean, then we call it a lagoon.
Lagoon treatment. So in the lagoon, wastewater is treated through a combination of physical, biological, and chemical processes. So much of the treatment occurs naturally, but some systems use aeration devices to add oxygen to the wastewater. So aeration makes treatment more efficient so that less land area is necessary. Aerators can be used to allow existing systems to treat more wastewater. So lagoons must be individually designed to fit a specific site and use. Designs are based on such factors as type of soil, amount of land area available, and climate. An important design consideration for lagoons includes the amount and type of wastewater to be treated and the level of treatment required by regulations. Wastewater leaving a lagoon may require additional treatment or polishing to remove disease causing organisms or nutrients from the wastewater before it can be returned to the environment. So there are four types of lagoons seen in field practice. First is the anaerobic lagoons. So the word anaerobic means without oxygen, so which describes the conditions inside this type of lagoon. Anaerobic lagoons are most often used to treat animal waste from dairies and pig farms, commercial or industrial waste, or as the first treatment step in systems using two or more lagoons in a series. So typically, anaerobic lagoons are designed to hold and treat wastewater from 20 to 150 days. So they are relatively deep, usually 8 to 15 feet, and work much like septic tanks. Inside an anaerobic lagoon, solids in the wastewater separate and settle into layers. The top layer consists of grease, scum, and other floating materials. If not preceded with septic tanks, the layer of sludge that settles at the bottom of an anaerobic lagoon eventually accumulates and must be removed. The wastewater that leaves an anaerobic lagoon will require further treatment. So odor can be a problem with anaerobic lagoons. However, in many cases, odor can be managed through a variety of methods such as adding sodium nitrate, recirculating pond effluent, and through regular maintenance. So next is the facultative lagoons. So the term facultative describes the aerobic and anaerobic nature of the lagoon. An anaerobic bottom region covered by an aerobic top layer. So these lagoons consist of a shallow basin in which solids introduced by the wastewater settle to the bottom to form a sludge layer that decomposes anaerobically. So if oxygen is present in the water column, the biodegradable organic materials that do not settle are degraded aerobically. So the depth of the latter is in a state of constant fluctuation as the result of changing meteorological conditions. So the dominant organisms in the system are algae and bacteria which function in a mutually beneficial relationship. So next is the aerated lagoons. So aerated lagoons are common in small communities. These systems use aerators to mix the contents of the pond and add oxygen to the wastewater. So they are sometimes referred to as partial mix or complete mix lagoons, depending on the extent of aeration. Partial mixed aerated lagoons are often anaerobic lagoons that have been adapted and upgraded to receive more wastewater. Except for wind-driven designs, most aerators require energy to operate. However, energy costs are almost always considerably less than those for other mechanical treatment systems. Aeration makes treatment more efficient, which offsets energy costs in some cases. Aerated lagoons require less land area and shorter detention times. And lastly, we have the polishing ponds. So this is the last in the series of settling ponds through which the male effluent is made to flow. The male effluent is made to flow through a series of wastewater treatment ponds before being discharged into the natural environment. Used to improve the quality of effluent from efficient anaerobic sewage treated plants like UASB reactors so that the final effluent quality becomes compatible with legal or desired standards. The residual organic material and suspended solids concentrations in the digested sewage are reduced, but often the main objective of polishing pans is to improve the hygienic quality, measured by the concentration of two indicator organisms, the helminth eggs and fecal coliforms. So now we will talk about the advantages and disadvantages of lagoon system. So first is the advantages. Lagoon systems can be cost effective to design and construct in areas where land is inexpensive. They use less energy than most wastewater treatment methods. They are simple to operate and maintain and generally require only part-time staff. They can handle intermittent use and shock loadings better than many systems, making them a good option for campgrounds, resorts, and other seasonal properties. They are very effective at removing disease causing organisms like pathogens from wastewater, and the effluent from lagoon systems can be suitable for irrigation where appropriate because of its high nutrient and low pathogen content. So next is the disadvantages. Lagoon systems require more land than other treatment methods. They are less efficient in cold climates and may require additional land or longer detention times in these areas. So odor can become a nuisance during algae blooms, spring thaw in cold climates, or with anaerobic lagoons and lagoons that are inadequately maintained. Unless they are properly maintained, lagoons can provide a breeding area for mosquitoes and other insects. So they are not very effective at removing heavy metals from wastewater, and effluent from some types of lagoons contains algae and often requires additional treatment or polishing to meet the local discharge standard. So wastewater lagoon sludge buildup is a common occurrence for wastewater treatment lagoons worldwide. If left unchecked, sludge can lead to higher effluent levels of BOD, TSS, and ammonia, not to mention some terrible lagoons others. That's all and thank you.